Should you let Amazon fulfill your product or should you fulfill it yourself? We're gonna talk about the pros and the cons of both of these. So let's jump right into it. Let's start with the pros of letting Amazon ship it for you. So this is called FBA, or Fulfilled by Amazon. And the first big pro is you don't have to ship it yourself. That's the whole point. Amazon does all the fulfillment for you. Now, this isn't the only pro, but it's a pretty big one. Once your sales volume gets to be pretty high, you're not gonna wanna package up each little individual item, go to the post office and send it every day. It's just a waste of your time. The second pro is you don't have to handle the returns. When you're doing Fulfilled by Merchant, or FBM, that means that every time there's a return, you gotta deal with it, you gotta handle all of that. But if you're doing FBA, Amazon takes care of all that for you. You don't have to lift a finger. The next pro, and maybe the biggest pro out of all of these, is you get more sales. When you put your product as an FBA product, it's Prime eligible. That means that people that pay for the Prime membership can get it within 2 days. There's a lot of other benefits as well with it, but it means ultimately you're gonna get more sales. And the theory goes that Amazon also promotes products that are Prime eligible for a number of different reasons. They know it's gonna make customers happier and they make more money off of them. Now, all this being said, there are some benefits to doing Fulfilled by Merchant. The number one biggest pro of doing FBM is you don't have to pay the fee. Amazon does charge you to do FBA. Now, in my opinion, it's worth the money because you're gonna have to pay shipping anyways, and you're gonna have to pay someone to pack it up, and then you're gonna have to spend your time actually taking it to the post office. But that is a pro if you're very price sensitive, if you're very conscious about how much money you're spending, you might save a little bit of money by doing Fulfilled by Merchant. The next pro is you can offer more options. When you're doing FBA, that means that you have to ship everything to the warehouse. That means you have to guess how much you're gonna sell ahead of time. Another pro for Fulfilled by Merchant is you can do made to order items. And this is what we did at first with B Dancewear, the first company I created after quitting my corporate job. We'd sell on Amazon. I mean, first we only sold on our website, but then we sell on Amazon with Fulfilled by Merchant. And the reason, like, our thought process was, first off, we didn't know what was gonna sell. So we didn't wanna create a bunch of some items and send it in. But the next part is, once someone would order it, we would make it by hand. And then we'd fulfill it. And you can't do this with FBA. With FBA, you have to make it and send it in. Now let's talk about the cons of FBA and FBM. And there's some big cons, so make sure you pay attention during this section. The first con with FBA, and we already talked about this, is the higher fee. I think it's well justified, both with B Dancewear and my other main company, Performance Nut Butter. I'm happy to pay the fee because I don't want to do the work of packaging it up and shipping it out. The next con is they may lose or damage items. Once again, this is okay though, because if they damage an item or lose an item, they will pay you for it, full price. So I don't really mind if they lose a few boxes of PNB. And the last con, the last downside of using Fulfilled by Amazon is you really need to watch the inventory. Let me tell you a quick story. When I first launched Performance Nut Butter, I sent in what I thought would be 6 months worth of inventory to Amazon. Turns out it sold out in just 6 weeks. And I had to kind of scramble to get some more units into Amazon because, as a lot of my friends told me, if you're out of stock for too long, they'll ding you and your sales rank will go down. Luckily, I was only out of stock for a few days. I was able to scramble and get more inventory in, but the next 6 months I lived in fear of, I hope I'm gonna have enough inventory, and I was constantly trying to play catch up. So that is a downside of using FBA. Your sales might be so good that you have a hard time staying on top of refilling the inventory. It's a good problem to have. But there are some big cons with Fulfilled by Merchant. The first one is, like I said, you have to ship your own product. And then the second one is you're not gonna get as many sales. So we talked about a lot of pros of FBA versus FBM. So now let's decide which one is right for you. And I'll give you some very specific formulas to help you decide. But before I do, comment down below on what your favorite pro or con was. Or if there was something you thought I left out on the pro and con side of either one of these, leave it in the comment down below. I'm sure I forgot some things. So ultimately, it's up to you. If you're doing private labeling, or if you're doing like I did, creating a passion product with Performance Nut Butter, or like how I taught my girlfriend to do Vino Cards, then doing FBA is a no-brainer. You only have one SKU, it's not that hard to track inventory, and you're gonna get way more sales, plus you don't have to do with all the shipping. But maybe you have a company more like my company Be Dancewear, where you have a ton of SKUs and you're not sure which ones are gonna sell. You can always start off with Fulfilled by Merchant and then move into FBA with certain select SKUs that end up being your best sellers. There's a bunch of other reasons you might want to use FBA versus FBM, but I think for 95% of the people watching this video, FBA makes sense. Now, if you are going to be selling on Amazon, I do have my Amazon Success Pack up here and down below. There's links, totally for free. Includes a checklist for getting started on Amazon, a bunch of ways to increase your sales, and a ton of other information totally for free. And before you go, a quick warning. If you're thinking about selling on Amazon, I personally do not recommend wholesaling, reselling, or even boring old private labeling. I highly recommend creating a passion product. If you want to learn how to create your own passion product, like I did with Performance Nut Butter, or my girlfriend did with Vino Cards, you can watch this video right here. And every week, I release a new vlog video showing you exactly what I'm doing to increase the sales of Performance Nut Butter. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, like it, and comment down below, and I'll see you in the next video.